So we're going to pick up where we left off. We have the adjustable oscillator with frequency and amplitude control. I've just added a few comments as we go through. And I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of control, some automated control. So I can send messages to line, and in fact I'm going to set up a receive frequency ramp. And I'm going to do the same down here for amplitude. An amp ramp. So control. And now I can do some envelopes, both frequency and amplitude. So let's look at amplitude first. And I'm going to set up a send amp ramp object. Now I can create messages for amplitude changes. Okay, so using message objects, they're going to send the contents of their message of the object when I click on them in a locked patch. So it's like target value and the time to get there. Let's say 100. And let's create another one that goes to 0 over 2 seconds, 2000 milliseconds. So now I have frequency input. So let's click on one of these. And I'm actually sending both of my things in the wrong place. Into the left. I want to trigger their output of line. So rookie mistake, and I'll make them from time to time, and it's useful to keep them in. So now sound comes on, amplitude goes down. So much faster on, 100 milliseconds. Much slower off. Now if I want to create, say, an ADSR envelope, I can do that in messages because I can send all my targets and time to get there in one list. So let's unlock. Let's create a message. Now, the way Line interprets its lists, if I send a number, like say 0 with a decimal and a comma, that means go to that value immediately. So let's actually just do that. And that's the click. Let's put a little, let's open up, put a little button here. And we'll show you one thing. Pay attention to the bang now. Watch line, I'm going to turn it on. And you get a bang. Clicking off. So line outputs a bang every time it comes to the end of a ramp segment. Let's go back here. Let's expand this a bit. So it's going to always start at 0, and it's going to go to an amplitude of, let's go with 1 over 10 milliseconds. And I am doing conscious float and integer. It helps me look at the list because the floating point is amplitude, the integer is time. So that's my attack, sharp attack. Then it's going to go to a value of, say, 0.33 over 1 let's say 250 milliseconds. It's going to stay at that value of 3.3 for a second, and then it's going to go to 0 amplitude over 500 milliseconds. And I'm going to change, because I'm tired of sine tones and who isn't, to the saw. And at this point, it's useful to check I am getting 200. Okay, let's go over here. It's working. And in fact, if I don't wait for this to end, I can still send another message. It just picks up wherever. This is one of the reasons why you do the 0. So it always starts, this one always starts at 0. And so I'm getting the whole segment as I go through. If I wanted to make this changeable, I could use a pack and send each thing to the pack and then bang the whole thing out. But this is just to show you how I can make these segments and what I can do. I can do the same thing for frequency. So let's send freq ramp, and I can go to, let's say 880 over 2 seconds, 2000 milliseconds. Some amplitude. Back down to 220 over 100 milliseconds. If I use this bang feature, to the second, I can automate the process by turning it on. And it's just continually getting it to 220 now. More to show a point, not really helping me do much. But that lets me do, say, some big glissandi if I wanted to, along with some amplitude control. So this kind of automates that process, adds a little extra. You can create envelopes for your frequency, for your amplitude, and you can do LFO control. So I'll stop here with this one. And the next thing I'm going to do is take the same basic adjustable oscillator and turn it into a theremin controlled by my mouse position. All right, so that'll be next.